Protein synthesis is a critical step in the long-term memory storage. What are the two parts of protein synthesis? Transcription and translocation. What's transcription? Transcription is the synthesis of messenger RNA. And what's messenger RNA? mRNA is the copy of instruction from DNA for protein synthesis in the ribosome. These proteins modify synaptic transmission by affecting transmitter synthesis, membrane permeability, and or neuronal processes. And what's translocation? mRNA migration out of the nucleus to make proteins. Where is neurotransmitters? Receptors. Where is first and second messengers? The first messenger is a neurotransmitter